Although they were not conceived as a group, these poems have come to be known as one amidst the Wordsworth readership. They represent absolute mastery over romanticism, rich verse suffused with emotions of longing, love, and grief. One could perceive them as love songs of yore, but the only issue with that is the complete absence of evidence for and thereby clarity on who Lucy is. Assumptions range from a deceased lover of the narrator to his sister to a mere figment of the imagination, a muse, so to say, but I am understandably inclined to go with the last possibility. And yet, it isn't the story or the character that makes these poems beautiful. It's what they are by themselves, rustic representations of natural beauty, Wordsworth's entire premise for his writing. All four poems carry different structures. Strange Fits of Passion Have I Known is written in 7 quatrains in alternating lines of iambic tetrameter and trimeter with a rhyme scheme of A, B, A, B. She Dwelt Among the Untrodden Ways is written in 3 quatrains with the same rhyme scheme. 3 Years She Grew in Sun and Shower is set in 7 stanzas of 6 lines each with an A, A, B, C, C, B rhyme scheme and a rhythm that renders a song-like nature to the poem. A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal is a mere 8 lines long with a rhyme scheme of A, B, A, B. Strange Fits of Passion Have I Known seeks to establish possibly the early days of his courtship. The poem opens with a confessional tone. The poet wants to speak of the passion that seals him. Lucy, the love interest, is compared to a summer rose, and his journeys to her cottage are dreamlike, horse rides and expansive meadows and moonlight and small hills. The 5th stanza is interesting because it indicates the possibility that the whole experience is a dream, more figurative than literal. Eventually, the horse reaches her cottage, but it is far from a happy ending. A morbid thought stalks his fantasy. What if Lucy was dead? The muse then has died, which sets up nicely for the elegiac feeling to She Dwelt Among the Untrodden Ways. Lucy lived by the Dove, a river in the Midlands of England, but not many sang her praises and even fewer loved her. She is compared to a violet hidden by a mossy stone, to a star shining in the sky. She is dead now, and while that makes little to no difference in most lives, the narrator himself is deeply affected. 3 Years She Grew in Sun and Shower cannot be treated as an immediate sequel. It is an ode to her beauty, an ode constructed entirely on nature metaphors. Lucy is a flower that grew in the sun and the rain that he took for himself as a child. She is omnipresent, overseeing him on earth and in heaven, in open fields and dark gardens. She is a fawn that springs across the grass, and yet her silence and calm is profound. The stanzas that follow are chaotic. They depict how Lucy is touched by several sights and sounds that inspired romantic poetry. Clouds, weeping willows, midnight stars, and a dancing river. The penultimate stanza elevates her to a stately woman, and their relationship will sustain on the thoughts she inspires in him. By the final stanza, she is dead again. Lucy has left, and all that is left for him is her home and the memories of what they had, but what will never happen again. A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal is arguably the darkest of the 4. He experiences her death as a person woken from a fever dream. She was not an earthly being, but there she lies, a victim of mortality, buried in the rocks and stones, motionless. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this collection simply because I actively seek out dark romance, and this is everything dark romance and then some. And yet, even choosing to ignore the intense aesthetic that this collection paints, like I said before, the turn of phrase is a testament to Wordsworth's mastery over romanticism. The descriptions of Lucy are in fact less of what she actually is and more aggressive metaphors to nature. But again, perhaps that was the entire idea. To personify his inspiration, name her, sing songs of her, and then lay her to rest. The connotations are hard to miss, and 2 instances are particularly beautiful. Horses are traditionally used to represent the animalistic side of mankind, and the moon and its descent are as much about nightfall as they are about death. The setting for most of the collection is locus amonis, a literary topos involving an idealized place of comfort and calm. Literary blazon is used in the first piece, a device that catalogs the physical attributes of a subject, usually female. The device was made popular by Petrarch and used extensively by Elizabethan poets, and Wordsworth uses it to good effect when he says she looks like a rose. The bottom line is this: few poems can capture and distill the essence of an entire cultural movement, and for Romanticism, you needn't look much farther than Lucy poems.